Hey, this is Ferry Phoenix channel. Please subscribe, okay? And leave your thumbs up. Yes.
Now, it's been approximately 3 years since I've owned my home, and here's what I've learned. And of course, I'm going to talk about the beautiful things and some not so beautiful things about owning a home. And I'll start with the initial feeling that I had, right? When I first realized that I bought the home and I own it now and I actually moved in, there was a sense of pride, of course. I felt excited. It's a huge accomplishment. But there was also a sense of fear as well. Like I own this place, it's mine. Everything that has to do with it, it's my decision. I have to do it. And so it took a while for me to work that in, to realize that, oh yes, it's actually your home. And now you have to make decisions according to the home. You have to ensure that your bills, that's one of the things I was thinking of, oh my goodness. Now, because people make home ownership seem like such a, sort of a, I don't want to say a burden, but they make it seem scary in a way, like it's a huge responsibility. And of course it's responsibility, but even when you live in a rental, you still have to pay your rent, right? So I was thinking, oh my goodness, I gotta find my mortgage every month. So long story short, there was a little bit of fear that came in, but as soon as I got over that, then I started looking around and I'm realizing people are congratulating me and I'm realizing I own this place. I can do whatever I want to do with it, right? So that's one of the things. You get to change the place up as you see fit. You can, because even right now I'm thinking about doing my backyard. Like I want to do it really nicely around there. So certain freedoms that you have, there's a lot of freedom, especially for someone like me. I love interior designing and I don't like to feel limited. For instance, I created a mini basketball court inside of my house, right? So things like those, for the creative mind, you can definitely do those things and make those changes according to what make you and your family comfortable. In addition to that, you gain equity. Over time, the experts in housing market, they'll tell you that if you're buying, it's best to plan to keep your house for at least 5 years, because that's when it really builds, it increases in value over that time, and you actually could see your a profit on the money you spent, right? There's also some tax deductibles. I realize I don't know all the details of it, but when I got my tax return this year, it was a lot more, right? The year prior, for some reason, I didn't add that I purchased a home, so it wasn't a lot, but this time it was much more. So there's some tax deductibles, and it's really just building generational wealth, to be quite honest. It's a level of freedom that of course comes with responsibility, but it's a good feeling, right? Owning a home is a good feeling because I like stability. I don't like to feel like I have to get up and move, so for me, that's one of the best decisions that I've made, especially with the location that I bought in. Now for me, I bought a townhouse and it's not for everyone. So I'm going to get into some of the cons of it now. And I'll start with the HOA. When you buy the home or the house and you get a certain price, for instance, they say, oh, your HOA is, let's say it's $200 a month. Please be very sure that you have some money put aside. Besides I know it's a huge investment, a lump sum to put into the house itself up front, but please be sure that you have some money saved, just in case you need it, because chances are you will. Because when I started out, my HOA was a certain amount, and then within 1 year, it doubled, literally doubled, right? And also my property taxes were a certain price, and that also almost tripled. And they did tell me, they're like, hey, when you pay your mortgage, be sure to pay some, in escrows. That's what they call it when you put money aside for your insurance and your property taxes. So they did say that, put some money aside for escrows, and I did. But still, at the beginning of this year, or was it last year, whenever, I think it was January, when I got my bill, because the mortgage bill, it includes your taxes, your insurance, and just your normal mortgage. So I realized that increased by a lot, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what the heck is happening here? So I don't want to say scary, because God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. But those are one of the things you want to prepare for. a lot of people like to separate it. They say, oh, it's not your mortgage. It's not your mortgage, it's the property taxes. But at the end of the day, it is still the amount that you're paying monthly, and it can increase without notice every year, based on what I've seen here. So that's one of the things that I believe is a big con for me. I bought a home. One of the reasons I bought is because I like stability. I like to know what I'm going to be paying. And luckily, hopefully, what Ron DeSantis is trying to do, they're trying to just get property taxes to be either lower or get rid of it. I hope they get a chance to do that and pass it, because that's one of the things that can be a deterrent to owning a home, because it's like you're thinking, oh my goodness, I agreed to a certain price and you're telling me that this is what I'm paying a month now. So you have to take that into consideration when you're buying a home. The amount that you get that is set, that is your mortgage. It is your mortgage. But in addition to that, there's going to be property taxes, insurance, and also HOA that might increase over time. Another thing is, you can't pick up the phone like you would in an apartment complex, and if something breaks, like your AC is not working or a light bulb goes out or whatever, you'd be like, oh, let me call maintenance, or let me put in a request to have them come in this day. No, you are the maintenance, all right? So what I've done, and I try to do, is I try to keep things maintained. Like I say, be proactive. So certain things they taught me when I was buying the home, you can use vinegar and pour it into, well, I don't remember where you pour it into, so I'm not going to tell you that so you damage your stuff. But there's certain preventative methods that you can do to make things last longer so that you don't have those issues reoccurring too much. But that's one of the cons that I can think about. It comes with that whole responsibility factor. It's sort of like a child going off to college, and now their parents are no longer there, so they can't just call mom or dad to fix something. They have to use the critical thinking skills in their brain to get it done. So that's similar, right? It's sort of like how it works with a house. You're just responsible for everything. And it can be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on how you look at it. But ultimately for me, buying my home has been a beautiful thing for me. I love it. I love the idea of just waking up and just doing whatever I want to do. I love it. I wouldn't change anything. And I love the location that I bought in. I love the story. I'm going to share the story of how God bought this home for me, because it's such a beautiful, wonderful story of how I got this place. And I'm definitely going to be sharing that with you guys. Be sure to tell me your thoughts. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about home ownership? And are you thinking about purchasing a home? If you do have your own home already, what are your experiences? Be sure to share it with me in the comments. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a member of the Fairy Phoenix family. And that's where I'll leave it, guys. You have a blessed rest of your day, and peace. Take care. Bye.